What if I told you that purchasing a high-end luxury vehicle after its factory warranty has expired might actually be the most brilliant financial move you ever make? It sounds nearly impossible, doesn't it? However, there is a 2010 Mercedes E-Class cruising around California with 350,000 miles on the odometer that has racked up lower repair bills than a standard Honda Civic, all while still riding as smooth as a cloud floating on butter. Today, we are counting down 12 luxury cars that transform into absolute steals once that original warranty sticker is gone. You will want to stay tuned until the very end because our number one pick is truly shocking. This specific luxury machine actually manages to become more dependable as it gets older. Top 1. Infiniti Q50 Red Sport, 2016 to 2020. Starting our list is a car where the engineers seemingly forgot they were supposed to design expensive problems into the vehicle. When Infiniti developed the Q50 Red Sport, instead of creating another premium money pit, they accidentally engineered what mechanics now call the most boring luxury car to ever work on, simply because almost nothing ever breaks. The VR30 DDR-TRT twin-turbo V6 engine wasn't just a powerhouse with 400 horsepower. It was built tougher than a $2 steak. Nissan put this engine through testing conditions that would make vehicles from Mad Max weep with envy. The end result was an engine so bulletproof that even the warranty managers at Infiniti began to question their own career paths. The best part about buying a post-warranty Q50 is that the massive depreciation cliff works entirely in your favor. These vehicles lose about 60% of their value within the first 5 years. Then they plateau because savvy buyers realize they are getting German-level performance paired with Japanese reliability at the price of a Hyundai. The interior materials were chosen by people who understood that true luxury means lasting quality rather than just flashy gimmicks. You get real aluminum trim, genuine leather that ages like a fine wine, and electronics sourced from the same suppliers that build components for fighter jets. Here is the real kicker. Independent repair shops actually love working on these cars because they are mechanically straightforward. You don't need proprietary tools or dealer-only diagnostic procedures. When a part finally does wear out after 150,000 miles, the cost is usually half of what BMW would charge. Insurance companies also quietly favor the Q50 because they rarely break down and parts are reasonably priced. It is as if Infiniti accidentally built the perfect post-warranty luxury car while every other manufacturer was busy engineering subscription-based repair revenue. Top 2. Genesis G80, 2017 to 2020. Next up is a car from a brand that looked at the Germans charging $80,000 for luxury cars that required $5,000 in repairs every year and decided to do things differently. What Genesis created wasn't just a competitor. It was so embarrassingly superior that German engineers probably started updating their resumes. The 3.8-liter naturally aspirated V6 engine was so over-engineered that the accountants at Hyundai likely had nightmares regarding the production costs. This wasn't some high-strung performance engine. It was a mechanical Zen master capable of running at highway speeds all day long while purring like a satisfied cat. Genesis didn't just aim to match German luxury. They exceeded it while building in a level of reliability that made their own 10-year warranties look conservative. The paint process alone involved more steps than what most manufacturers use for their flagship models, resulting in a finish that looks showroom fresh even after 5 brutal winters. The air suspension system, which is usually a death sentence for a used luxury car, was redesigned with the kind of redundancy that NASA would approve of. While a BMW X owner might budget $3,000 for suspension repairs, G80 owners are just out enjoying the ride quality. Post-warranty G80s are becoming a major insider secret among luxury car enthusiasts. You receive flagship features, materials that rival a Bentley, and reliability that makes Lexus nervous, all for the price of a loaded Camry. The maintenance schedule reads like a joke compared to European rivals. You are looking at oil changes every 7,500 miles and a transmission service every 60,000 miles. That is it. There are no $500 engine air filter changes, no $800 brake fluid flushes, and no $200 spark plug replacements. Top 3. Lexus GS 350F Sport, 2013 to 2020. Moving to a vehicle designed to prove that luxury could be reliable without being dull, we have this standout from Toyota's luxury division. They accidentally created a luxury sedan so bulletproof that mechanics started recommending them to their own mothers. The naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6 engine was essentially Toyota's love letter to people who wanted luxury without any of the drama. This engine was so understressed at highway speeds that the engineers probably wondered if they had made it too reliable for their own good. The 8-speed automatic transmission was calibrated for shifts as smooth as silk that were designed to last forever. While BMW was busy building transmissions with 17 different programming modes that confused the onboard computers, Lexus built one that just worked perfectly for 300,000 miles. What makes post-warranty GS ownership so special is that these cars actually seem to get better with age. The leather softens perfectly, the engine loosens up just enough to run even smoother, and the suspension settles into that perfect Lexus ride quality that newer cars take years to achieve. The F-Sport package wasn't just for show. It included suspension tuning and brake components tested at the Nürburgring. You get genuine performance capability combined with Lexus reliability, a combination that is rarer than a unicorn in the luxury car world. Resale values remain very strong because informed buyers understand they are purchasing a luxury car that will outlast most economy cars while providing a premium experience throughout its extended lifespan. Smart money buys a 5-year-old GS model and drives it for the next 15 years. Top 4. Porsche Cayenne S 2011 to 2018. Our next entry comes from Porsche engineers who adapted their sports car reliability philosophy to an SUV frame. They created something magical, a luxury SUV that could survive the rigors of soccer mom duty while maintaining the legendary build quality of a Porsche. The naturally aspirated and supercharged V6 and V8 engines weren't just powerful, they were as reliable as agricultural equipment. Porsche tested these power plants in conditions that would make commercial trucking look gentle. The result is a line of engines that regularly cross the 200,000-mile mark while maintaining their original smoothness. The genius of the Cayenne was Porsche's refusal to compromise on quality for the sake of mass market appeal. Every single component was built to sports car standards and then adapted for SUV duty. We are talking about door handles tested for 100,000 cycles, window regulators designed for 20 years of use, and seat motors that could likely outlast the apocalypse. Post-warranty Cayennes represent incredible value because the depreciation curve flattens out dramatically after the 6th year. You get German engineering excellence, Porsche build quality, and SUV practicality at prices that actually make sense for normal humans. The maintenance costs are also surprisingly reasonable for a Porsche product. Independent shops can handle most services, parts availability is excellent, and the mechanical systems are straightforward enough that a competent mechanic can keep them running indefinitely. It is a beautiful irony. While Range Rover owners were budgeting for air suspension disasters and BMW X5 drivers were nursing failing water pumps, Cayenne owners were just driving. The most exciting maintenance item was usually just an oil change every 10,000 miles. Top 5 Cadillac XTS Platinum, 2013 to 2019. For number 8, we look at GM's full-size luxury sedan that was built to actually work. What they created was America's answer to German luxury, except it was more reliable, more comfortable, and cost half as much to maintain. The naturally aspirated 3.6-liter V6 engine was so bulletproof that the Cadillac warranty departments probably felt like they were committing fraud by selling extended coverage. This power plant was tested in taxi fleets, police applications, and heavy commercial use. If it could survive the life of a Detroit cop car, it could survive anything you throw at it. The magnetic ride control suspension was pure engineering genius. There are no air springs to leak and no complicated hydraulics to fail. It just uses electromagnetic dampers that adjust thousands of times per second while lasting forever. German luxury car owners reading this are probably crying right now. The interior materials were sourced from suppliers who apparently thought they were furnishing private aircraft. The leather was hand-selected, the wood trim was real, and the metal accents were actually made of metal. Revolutionary concepts in the world of modern luxury cars. Owning a post-warranty XTS is like discovering a luxury car cheat code. You get flagship American luxury technology that actually works and maintenance costs that won't bankrupt your children's college fund. The depreciation curve works beautifully in the buyer's favor, as these cars lose 65% of their value in 5 years and then stabilize as word spreads about their reliability. Smart buyers are picking up $60,000 worth of luxury for $20,000, while the Germans are still paying off their initial depreciation. Top 6 Acura RLX Sport Hybrid, 2014 to 2020. Next, we have Honda's luxury flagship, which represented their engineers saying, "Let's build the most reliable luxury car ever conceived." What emerged was a technological tour de force that made German luxury cars look primitive while lasting twice as long. The hybrid system wasn't just about efficiency, it was Honda's demonstration of how luxury car reliability should work. It features 3 electric motors, 1 gasoline engine, and a transmission that was basically bulletproof. The system was so sophisticated that NASA probably took notes. The naturally aspirated V6 engine was paired with electric motors in a configuration so reliable that Honda offered hybrid system warranties that made German manufacturers very nervous. This wasn't experimental technology. It was production-ready luxury that happened to sip fuel like a Prius. The all-wheel drive system used individual electric motors for the rear wheels, providing traction that embarrassed traditional mechanical systems while eliminating the components that typically fail. There are no differentials, no drive shafts, and no transfer cases, just electric motors that lasted forever. Post-warranty RLX ownership is like having a luxury car crystal ball. You can predict your maintenance costs years in advance because they are basically just oil changes and tire rotations. Honda engineers apparently forgot they were supposed to build in expensive repair intervals. The interior featured materials and construction quality that rivaled cars costing twice as much. Every surface was soft touch. Every control was precisely damped, and every electronic system was tested to Honda's obsessive reliability standards. Top 7 BMW 550i, 2011 to 2016. Continuing our countdown, we have a vehicle that proves even the most complex brands can get it right. When BMW finally got their N63 V8 engine sorted out in the later years, they accidentally created something miraculous. A BMW that doesn't leave you stranded. The 550i became the car that BMW engineers always dreamed of building, but were usually too busy creating complicated problems to achieve. The twin-turbo 4.4-liter V8 engine, after BMW stopped treating reliability like a dirty word, became a powerhouse that could survive almost anything. BMW addressed the early cooling issues, fired whoever designed the original fuel injection system, and basically rebuilt everything that made early owners cry. The 8-speed automatic transmission was already bulletproof in other applications, but paired with the refined N63 engine, it created a drivetrain combination that could handle serious performance while lasting hundreds of thousands of miles. What makes post-warranty 550i ownership special is that these cars provide M5-level performance with 5 Series reliability. The depreciation curve drops these cars to accessible prices, while the mechanical improvements make them genuinely dependable. The ride quality was perfectly calibrated for luxury car buyers who occasionally wanted to embarrass sports cars at traffic lights. Comfort mode provided limousine smoothness, while Sport Plus mode transformed the car into a legitimate performance machine. Independent BMW specialists can maintain these cars without dealer-only tools. Parts availability is excellent, and the mechanical systems are straightforward enough that qualified technicians can keep them running indefinitely without breaking your budget. Top 8 Lexus LS 460, 2007 to 2017. For number 5, we look at a flagship that was engineered to make German engineers cry like spoiled children. The LS 460 represented Toyota saying, "Watch this," to every German engineer who thought reliability was optional in a luxury car. The naturally aspirated 4.6-liter V8 engine was so over-engineered that Toyota accountants probably needed therapy after seeing the production costs. This power plant was designed to outlast cockroaches in a nuclear apocalypse while delivering power smoother than aged whiskey. The 8-speed automatic transmission was calibrated for smoothness that made passengers question whether the car was actually moving. Shifts were so seamless that driving became a meditation on mechanical perfection. Every component was designed with the assumption it would need to work flawlessly for 20 years. The climate control maintained perfect temperature regardless of outside conditions The seat motors operated with Swiss precision, and the audio system delivered concert hall acoustics. Post-warranty LS ownership is like discovering automotive nirvana. You get flagship luxury experiences while maintenance consists primarily of oil changes and admiring the paint finish. These cars don't break. They just accumulate miles while providing transportation poetry. The resale values remain strong because informed luxury car buyers understand they are purchasing something approaching automotive perfection. A well-maintained LS460 represents the pinnacle of reliable luxury motoring. Top E9 Genesis G90 Ultimate, 2017 to 2020. Moving into our top four, we have a flagship sedan where the engineers apparently looked at German luxury car repair bills and thought, this is highway robbery disguised as premium engineering. What they created was a luxury sedan that out-luxuried the Germans while being more reliable than a Swiss timepiece. The naturally aspirated 5.0-liter V8 engine was pure mechanical poetry written in steel and precision. This power plant delivered effortless acceleration while sipping premium fuel more politely than most four-cylinder engines. Basically automotive wizardry that defied physics. The air suspension system was completely re-engineered with lessons learned from German failures. Every component was overbuilt, every sensor was redundant, and every software algorithm was tested until failure became mathematically impossible. The interior materials were sourced from suppliers who apparently thought they were furnishing Rolls-Royce motor cars. Semi-aniline leather, genuine wood trim, and metal accents that were actually metal created an environment that rivaled cars costing twice as much. Post-warranty G90 ownership represents the luxury car deal of the century. You get S-Class materials, 7 Series technology, and A8 refinement at prices that make financial sense for people who understand value. The maintenance schedule was designed by people who forgot they were supposed to generate service revenue. You have oil changes every 7,500 miles and transmission service every 60,000 miles. There are no $500 air filter changes, no $800 brake fluid services, and no $1,200 spark plug replacements. Top 10, Porsche Panamera S, 2014 to 2016. In the number 3 spot, we have a 4-door sports car where Porsche engineers didn't compromise on the reliability standards that made the 911 legendary. The result was a luxury sedan that could embarrass supercars while providing family-friendly practicality. The naturally aspirated and supercharged V6 and V8 engines weren't just powerful, they were built to Porsche's obsessive reliability standards. These power plants were tested in conditions that would make commercial aviation engines nervous. The PDK transmission reached reliability perfection in the Panamera application, offering 7-speed dual-clutch operation that shifted faster than human reflexes while being virtually indestructible. Manual mode provided sports car engagement, while automatic mode delivered luxury car smoothness. The chassis engineering was pure Porsche DNA, precise, responsive, and built to handle serious performance while lasting indefinitely. Every suspension component was tested to racing standards and then refined for luxury car duty. Post-warranty Panamera ownership is like having a luxury car time machine. You get current supercar performance with proven long-term reliability at prices that represent genuine value. The depreciation curve works beautifully for second owners, as these cars lose 60% of their value in 5 years and then flatten out as word spreads about their reliability. Smart buyers are getting $150,000 worth of engineering for $60,000. Top 11, Mercedes-Benz S550, 2014 to 2020. Our runner-up is a car that represents a redemption masterpiece. When Mercedes engineers finally learned from their reliability disasters of the early 2000s, they created the W2022 S-Class. This wasn't just luxury. It was Mercedes proving they could still build cars worthy of their three-pointed star heritage. The twin-turbo 4.6-liter V8 engine was completely re-engineered with lessons learned from previous failures. Every component was overbuilt, every system was redundant, and every software algorithm was tested until perfection became routine. The air suspension system, which was completely redesigned, featured components so robust that Mercedes engineers probably wondered if they had over-engineered the solution. The result was luxury car ride quality that lasted hundreds of thousands of miles. The interior represented German luxury at its absolute pinnacle, With materials selected for durability over flashiness, electronics were designed for decades of flawless operation, and the attention to detail bordered on obsession. Post-warranty S550 ownership represents the luxury car opportunity of a lifetime. You get flagship Mercedes luxury technology that actually works long-term and build quality that restores faith in German engineering excellence. The maintenance costs are surprisingly reasonable for an S-Class. Independent Mercedes specialists can handle most services, parts availability is excellent, and the mechanical systems are robust enough to provide years of reliable luxury motoring. Top 12 Lexus LS 600HL, 2008 to 2015. At the very top of our list sits the Lexus LS 600HL, and honestly, nothing else even comes close. This wasn't just Toyota's flagship luxury car. It was their engineering statement that luxury cars could be environmentally responsible, technologically advanced, and absolutely bulletproof. Toyota didn't just build a hybrid luxury car. They engineered a mechanical manifesto that redefined what automotive reliability meant while providing flagship luxury experiences. The LS600HL was the culmination of decades of Toyota perfecting both luxury car construction and hybrid technology. The hybrid system paired a naturally aspirated V8 engine with electric motors in a configuration so sophisticated that other manufacturers are still trying to replicate it 15 years later. This wasn't experimental technology, it was production-ready perfection. The battery system was designed to last the life of the vehicle, with cooling systems so advanced that degradation became mathematically impossible. Toyota engineers tested these systems in conditions that would make commercial aviation standards look casual. Every component was designed with the assumption it would need to work flawlessly for 25 years. The climate control system, the navigation system, the seat motors, everything was built to survive decades of flagship luxury car ownership. Here is the beautiful part. Post-warranty LS 600HL ownership is like discovering automotive perfection. You get hybrid efficiency that embarrasses modern cars, luxury that rivals Rolls-Royce, and reliability that makes other manufacturers weep with envy. The resale values remain astronomical because informed luxury car buyers understand they are purchasing something approaching automotive immortality. A well-maintained LS600HL represents the absolute pinnacle of reliable luxury motoring. If this deep dive into the world of bulletproof luxury machines has changed the way you look at the used car market, make sure to subscribe and like the video. We are dedicated to uncovering the automotive history and engineering secrets that the big manufacturers would rather keep buried. Start investing in your automotive future today. Our next treasure trove of car secrets will be opening up very soon.